All right, now we move our focus to a musician who has defined his own brand and loves to talk about how to make yourself stick out in the noise. Please welcome Daddy to the show. What's up?
Hey, thank you
Hey,
so
what's the
much for
good
having me
word?
on.
I'm so happy you made it. I mean, this has been it's been a long time coming. That we try to we were talking like I don't know a couple months ago, and I'm like, all right, you got to come on the show. But you had a big day today.
We actually just closed on our first home as a family, so we're really excited. I'm really a daddy. I'm really
Mhm.
a father and a husband, and we finally were able to get our first home, and we're moving in today. So it's exciting.
Oh, that's fantastic! Congratulations. I mean, and it's what a great way to end this year.
Totally.
It's like, and it kind of gives you a good mindset going into 2021, because I'm sure now, especially after hearing what Stephanie has said, you're in for a whole lot of sprinting now that you're a homeowner.
Oh, I am ready for this next year. I am
Mhm.
100% ready for this next year.
Right.
We're excited.
Right on. So let's get a little background on you for our viewers, okay? You're a part of you work you're a partner in an artist agency. You've been producing, streaming. Fill us in a little bit.
So, yep, I'm Daddy. I'm the dad of the internet. I make a blend of rock and EDM, and it's my own proprietary cocktail. I think it's pretty sweet, but yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. I've been doing this project for a few years now with Steel South Duty, who I know that you've talked about before. He's a big fan of you, Peter, and yeah, that's about it. I make fun music. I DJ from a 4 burner propane grill. I don my dad hat and my polo and my socks and sandals and my fanny pack, and we're ready to go.
Right on. So let me. There's a few other things, and I've been wanting to. And I know Steele, and I haven't had a chance to actually ask him about this, but I want to talk about the Area 51 Raid Festival. So for anybody who remembers, it was last year, the Area 51 raid that was all put together, and you were the team that put on Alien Stock.
Yep.
Like, first of all, when did you come up with that? Like, was that just one of those, like, or a few drinks, like, let's put on a festival with all these people raiding Area 51?
Oh yeah, dude.
Hey.
So that's the baby right here. He came
Oh,
to say hi. This is baby. This is what makes me a daddy. He can say hi.
what's up, buddy?
So I'm a huge memer, and I have always loved memes. And so as soon as I was actually this is my little weird flex. I was in the first 2,000 people that found the Raid Area 51 Facebook page. So right at the very inception of the meme, and I shared it with Steele and my friends. I was like, "This is hilarious! Like, we got to go do this." And it actually Steele was the one that convinced me. Like, dude, we just got to go out there. I'll bring my Sprinter van with all of my speakers, and we'll just go out there and we'll just throw a rave ourselves. And so that was kind of our plan. We were figuring out how to get that speaker system going and everything like that. And then we reached out to the owner of the Little Alien, which is out in Rachel, Nevada, which is the town right outside of Area 51. And basically, long story short, they needed help, and we're like, "Hey, we're an agency, we can help organize this." And so we brought a bunch of our friends out, and yeah, we had a blast, man. We ended up having 2 stages, and it was just super fun. We got to meet a lot of really cool people and through a really fun show. And there was a few thousand people out there, and it just ended up being one of the most fun experiences of our life.
That's great, because I remember hearing about it. I'm like, that's got to be really cool. And then it was like, wait a second, this is the people that did it. So 2020,
Yeah.
hopefully 2021, maybe you could raid Area 51 again.
We were going to do it this year,
Yeah.
but COVID.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about branding, and that's we came down to is like, you talk about, it's like, I'm the dad of the internet. Here is my brand, and I own it. From your website, the verbiage that you use, the look. I mean, I love the image of you like at the barbecue with the hot dogs, like everything. It just screams dad. Right here is proof. Okay, so. But when it comes to like what brought you to like, hey, I'm daddy? Well, like, what was that moment?
I'm getting older, dude, and I I don't have time to be cool. You know what I mean? I don't have time to act like I'm cool. And so I just realized, you know what? I'm a dad. I'm just going to lean into that, and I'm going to have so much fun with it. And we're going to make it into just something that's so ridiculous that people, they can never make fun of it, because it's just it's too weird. And we just own that. And so with Steele and me and the team, we just were like, let's just create the most outrageous, funny, cool brand. And that's how Daddy was born. And so that's where we're at today. And it's really, integral to who I am. I love my family, like they're my life. And I love music. And so I'm like, why don't I just, be both? And so that's how it was born.
And when did you make that transition?
So, I mean, the short of it is, it was actually a forced transition. I was performing under another artist name, and I had signed to a label, and I'm not going to name any names, but they kind of screwed me over. And there was about a year period where I couldn't produce or release anything under that name. So I was just like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to start something else. And it was kind of out of that desperation that this was born, and I'm way happier under this moniker and working and releasing this type of music, and so it was kind of born out of necessity, but really happy with where it went.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So what would you say to somebody? I mean, because you took a gamble. Taking a gamble is we're going to make this silly. We're I'm not going to be the cool kid. I'm going to be, the anti-cool, and it's you take a gamble on that. So what would you suggest to people, artists that want to take that risk of, I'm going to brand myself a different way that's outside what people normally see? Because so many artists are oh, I'm trying to be this, and they're always trying to do that. And you see photos, and here's the same exact photo with the same backlighting and the same texture, and it's I'm hey, I've seen 5 of you. And then it's also with the music. So what would you suggest to people that want to take that risk?
Yeah, no, that's a fantastic question. One of my favorite music industry experts, Wyatt Christensen, he runs a YouTube channel called Dawn Nation. Me and him were having a conversation one time, and he was talking about, he's imagine the music industry is a giant building, and there's a couple doors, and there's just hundreds and thousands of artists that are just in line, and they're just trying to pitch themselves to be let into the music industry, which is that big building. And he's like, you can go your whole life and never make it into that door. The line's really long. You have to be outstanding. But there's a lot of other good people. It's or you can go climb in the air ducts, or you can go climb up in an upper window and figure out how to throw a grappling hook up and just climb up and just go a weird, different way. And that always stuck with me. And that's what I realized I wanted to do is, I'm a little different. I have another career as well. I am a dad and a father. And, I know you're talking about doing 3 things. I do 3 major things. I do music, I do a job, and I do, I'm a dad. And so for me, it's just I don't have time to wait in line. I got to go. I just got to be as crazy and as out there as possible. So I can climb up through one of those windows and make it in. And it seems to be working out well so far.
And that is so true. When I was doing New Music Seminar, and this ties to you being here. We're going back 5 years, and we had a project. It's called the Artists on the Verge Project. And what we would do is, because we had the festival, and bands could not apply to perform. At South by, you can apply and then you'd be accepted. We would curate. We'd had industry people, tastemakers, media, A&R people, and we also had some data analysts and stuff. And so we used all these different stuff to create a top 100 list of who we feel are breaking, what artists are around 30, 35 miles an hour and ready to break the speed limit in the next few years. And then we would invite them, we would put them on, we'd get a top 100 list, and they would be invited to perform. From there, we'd pick a top 3 to perform, and then A&R people vote, it's a whole thing. And Steele's band actually won that year.
Yep.
And, but the thing is that people would come to me and say, how does my band, or how do I, as an artist, get on your Artists on the Verge? How do I make it onto there? I said, make me find you. And not by pitching me right now. do something that's going to make our team, and it's not me, we had 30, 40 people that would work on this project. And, so you have from all different industries, from all different sectors. And it's like, do something to make us find you. Whether that's a brand, whether that's music, whether that's something like you believe you're passionate about something, you're speaking about something, your talent, but make us find you. So, what's next for you then, really quick before we wrap?
Man, I just think this year is a lot of expansion, a lot of experimentation. I can't really sit still. Blending rock and EDM has been so fun for me. And so I'm just expanding into like more genres of that and just pulling it in. I've got some really fun collaborations and more of like the hip hop MGK kind of vibe. I've got some heavier stuff that's going to be, we'll call it Daddy After Dark, where it's a lot more heavy and metal. And there's just going to be so much fun. So lots of new releases this year, hopefully some performances, and just continuing to have a blast with it.
Right on. And Daddy After Dark. So is that like when you go to bed at 8 o'clock?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right on.
After the kids are in bed.
All right, what I want to do, I want to bring up Stephanie. Let's bring this all full circle here, Stephanie. So, let's tie in everything together. You heard Daddy. He's talking about he just closed on a house, so he's got a lot on the plate for next year, and also with his releases. And you were talking about like getting those plans in together. So, what are your thoughts on the Stephanie as a brand, as branding yourself?
I will never forget you. Because you have nailed that one line. I did not know who you were, but I didn't know you were going to be our guest today. So I didn't know who you were before today. And I promise you, I will never forget you. And that is some fucking branding genius. I'm probably going to go share you with all of my clients and be like, look at how I will never forget Daddy because of this one line. I'm the dad of the internet. Brilliant.
I love your hustle. I literally was connecting with you so hard when you were talking. So I'm glad that we're connecting. This is awesome.
Yeah, I don't tell my co-hosts anything about the person that's going to be on the show. I just say we're having a guest. So I don't want them to know anything. I'm like, here, you're going to learn everything right here. Here's your thing.
Well, today's about as wacky as you're going to get. So hello, I'm Daddy.
So Dad, you were vibing on what Stephanie was talking about too.
Yeah, no, I think that's the biggest thing that I see in. I was talking about this the other day to a friend. Because my music is pretty different, it doesn't get a lot of playlist support. It doesn't get it just doesn't fit like very well. But if you hustle and you really just make the plans and you're just always on top of thinking for the next step and making sure that you're focusing on it in like an organized way, on the marketing, on the branding, how you're reaching out, all that stuff, it all works forward to pushing you to a good place. And I think that so often people just get laser focused on one section of it, and that's why they don't succeed. I always say some of the best producers and musicians die in their parents' basement. What I mean by that is that they laser focus too much on one thing and they're unable to reach out, set the goals, and follow them. And that's really all it takes for success. Is anyone can do it as long as they use the right steps and they follow the right keys to success. And so I just love the way you were talking about that and how to maybe break some of those people out of their heads and teach them some modes to be able to progress and grow as an artist.
Yeah, 2021 has got to be about doing things a new way and bringing simplicity to our life and slowing down just a little bit. If there's anything that 2020 has forced us to do, it's to slow down. And so this is a really great way to be methodical and actually just enjoy your life while getting that shit done. For sure.
That's the key, isn't it? That's the key, right? It's not being happy at the end of this. It's being happy in the hustle and happy in the marketing and in the creation, in the production and getting the master done in these interviews. Like that is how you be successful as an artist, is enjoying it while working hard. And that's the success. That's the drip, that keeps you going.